Hey guys, this is Pato Award, and you're listening to Indie Sports Podcast. And or what is that? Is that what it's called? Yeah,
That's
right.
that's perfect.
Or did I say something wrong?
No, trust me, man. I mean, I can edit all this. It's no
What
problem.
is
You
it?
can
What is it again? Indie Sports Podcast or what?
The Indie Sports Car Podcast.
Not Indie Sports Cars Podcast.
Nice. Yeah, if you want to try it again, go ahead.
Hi guys, I'm Pato Award, and you're listening to the Indie Sports Car Podcast.
Welcome back, ICP fans, to our last update of the Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona. What's going on, Miss A?
Hello.
Greg, welcome back.
How's it going?
You still awake?
Yeah, I'm here.
And we had on Doug Schneider earlier, last update, doing the weather for us, but now we have his partner in crime of stormy situations. That was bad. Scott, welcome.
Thank you so much.
I was just about to say Steve again too, but I caught myself. But let me just.
I would have a lot more money if I was Steve Martin.
But you are Scott Martin.
That's right.
There you go. I mean, any relation?
No, not at all. I wish, though.
Could you lie to him and say you need help? I'm kidding.
Probably could.
Yeah, right on. I mean, are you short? Very short?
Yeah, I'm sure I'm not related.
Yeah, there you go. I guess you're not short. Fair enough. Well, we started it off with the just past weather and the upcoming. So the floor is yours, Scott.
Okay, well, right now, looking at the radar, let me pull that up real quick. Pretty much close by to Daytona, everything is dry at this point. Nothing showing up on radar. A couple of showers showing off probably about 30 miles offshore that are heading to the northwest, but those will stay away from the track. Looks like the main activity is going to stay off in the Gulf of Mexico for at least a good another couple hours, and it looks like we should finish this race with dry conditions. We may have a sprinkle or a light shower pass through that may develop, but looks like the main heavy precipitation is going to hold off to about after 6 or 7 p.m. this evening.
All right, so we're looking at dry, sunny conditions all the way to the checkered?
Well, we'll have clouds built in, but other than that, we should stay dry the rest of the race.
All right. Well, that's gonna lead to some good racing.
Oh, definitely.
And everybody that's joining, basically, we're going to just get you caught up with what's happened the last 20 hours or so. We're not going to go that deep into it. That's for Wednesday night, Thursday morning, so don't miss that show. But this is just a basic recap to get you caught up so you can watch the end of the race and know what's going on, and so you understand what you're seeing a little bit better. And, and you'll be able to see it a lot better since it won't be raining. So that's good. And, Scott, would you like to let everybody know where they can go onto Twitter or website or wherever you guys like to post all your content at?
Sure. You can find both mine and Doug's forecast for any racing event coming up this season on our website at racecastweather.com. Our Twitter feed for the site is at racecastwx, and our Facebook page and Instagram account are both racecastwx.
Right on. And you also have a personal Twitter, right?
Yes, I do. My personal Twitter feed is race WX, the number 4, and then the word U. So race WX 4U.
YOU, right on.
Yes.
All right. And we are very proud to announce this is the first race we're doing it for, but not the last. We're happy to announce that we're going to have Doug and Scott on for the season to give us a quick update on what the weather's going to be like during the races for the upcoming weekend, and which Missy and I have paid close attention to since you guys have been doing it, because we seem to go to a lot of tracks every year. And I know a lot of you listening, Doug and everybody else with you right now, they go to every IndyCar race. So I'm sure they're going to really pay close attention to this part. So all right. Missy, what do you think about the race so far up to now?
I mean, it's been all right. I mean, there's been some good battles going on. Just a tad boring for me, but there's been some good battles going on.
Any shocking developments or anything that caught you off guard? Like, wow, I didn't expect that.
The number 10 being retired after 7 tire malfunctions, I guess you would call it, which would be the champion or the winner from last year. Well, one of the Taylor brothers anyway, and I think his partner is Renger van der Zande this year.
No, you said it perfectly last show. Is Renger van der Zande.
Well, I heard that a guy on TV say Renger van der Zande.
I heard a guy on TV.
Zandy. So.
Yeah, the guys on TV are not right on the money with the names this race. Trust me. Oof. I've heard a couple butcherings of a few names that I really can't recall right off this point, but I do remember going, "Ooh, that was bad." and I still have a problem with the whole Schwo Barbosa thing. I just don't see Schwo there with a J. I don't know, but that's me. That's just me.
Is that how they say his name? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I seem to remember a guy on our show 3 years ago that kept arguing about us that it was Schwo, and we just weren't having it.
Alrighty.
Maybe he was right.
Not in this lifetime.
Nope.
Anyway.
Yeah, and that's the last time
but
I
I guess
mentioned him.
I guess that was the bigger shocker that they had to retire because 7 tires. Like, ouch. Like.
Well,
I'd worry, but they're the only ones that it happened to, so...
How lucky's Action Express right now?
I mean, there's been some tires here and there, but they got 7 of them in this race. 7, like, wow.
7 punctures is very odd.
And I think it was all the same side, too. Was it the right back tire or right front?
Yeah, the right rear, I believe. All of them.
Yeah, all 7 of them. Like, that's a little odd.
Sounds like there might
be something.
There's a saboteur amongst us. Somebody's walking by with an ice pick, just who knows? What do you think, Scott?
So far it's been a pretty interesting race, but yeah, that tire issue is really head scratching because for it to really affect just one car of the whole field, kind of makes you think that there's some clearance issue or something on that right rear of the car that's keeping it from clearing the tire when it goes into the banking.
Yeah, it's got to be some lateral G's affecting it, maybe.
Yeah, because to me, I think that would probably be where the highest G forces will occur on that corner of the car, especially with the wing on the back and everything. So now, didn't the 31 car also had a tire issue earlier? Did they not?
The 31?
Yes.
I think they did. I mean, there's been a couple other cars that have had a tire issue. I think they were one of them too. Yeah, but they were able to, I guess, fix that one relatively and get back out there pretty.
Well, there's still 3 laps down though.
Well, yeah. I mean, so unless something, happens at the end, towards the end. I mean, there is still 2 hours and 39 minutes left here, but Looks like the Felipe Albuquerque for
Yep, and
Cadillac will be taking it.
yeah, I'll tell you what, that number 5 Cadillac DPI has been dominant from the word go, because they even brought that car behind pit wall, took a look at the engine because there was a problem with the telemetry back at the engineering post, so they wanted to take a look at it under caution. They were able to bring it back, take a look, say, nope, it's just a malfunctioning sensor. Get them back out there, and they're still 3 laps ahead. So that's the kind of dominance that number 5 is going through right now. So, Missy, do you want to go through just the notables of each class, like top 3 in each class right now, where they are?
Sure. So right now in the prototype class, like we said, Felipe Albuquerque and the number 5 Cadillac DPI is leading the way, followed by Felipe Nasser from Formula One, and the number 31 Cadillac DPI is in second currently. And in third, you have Luc Duval in the number 54, and he is in a Orca LMP2 car.
He's in the killer whale?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, those are your top 3.
Free Duval.
In prototype at the moment. Or I should say top 4. You have Paul Di Rista in the number 32 Leger LMP2 car. So those are your top 4 in prototype. And then still, I mean, it's pretty much the same for the GTLM class. You have Sebastian Bourdais currently in the number 66 Ford GT, leading the way in GTLM.
IndyCar.
And then you have him followed by Scott Dixon in the number 67 currently in the Ford GT in second. And then you have the Chevys right behind them. Jan Magnussen in the number 3 Corvette. And Tommy Milner currently in the number 4 Corvette in fourth for GTLM. And then currently your GTD class, you have Frank Pereira in the Lamborghini number 11 Lamborghini Huracan GT3 currently still leading the way. In between the 2 Lambos, you have AJ Allmendinger in second in the number 86 Acura right now. And in third, you have the other Lamborghini Huracan GT3 is Brian Sellers is currently in the car. And in fourth is Jerome Bleekemolen in the number 33 Mercedes AMG GT3.
All right.
Can I just say one thing about the impressive story about the Paul Miller Racing Huracan?
Sure. Yeah.
Going through what they did the night before the race, having to swap out the drivetrain and all that stuff, take it to a local short track and run it just to break it in, and then have it up here in the top 3 at this point on the podium.
Oh, I mean, look,
it's simply amazing.
A lot has to do with his driver lineup, because Brian Sellers is just a world-class sports car racer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Who else is racing with him right now? Who's on that team right now? Just curious. Nobody be shy, you know. I'm scrambling for a freaking driver lineup, and I just can't
I am
right
too.
now. IMSA's website is so garbage.
I was just gonna say I'm on the IMSA website.
So am I. I'm like, if I was on Motorsport, okay, there it is. Oh my God, IMSA, how is a third-party media source better at giving us info on your series than you are? It's like somebody having like a website dedicated to our show and knowing more about it than me. It doesn't, or Missy, I should say. Me is not that big of a stretch, but Missy, that would be a stretch.
Yeah, that certainly would be.
I don't even know my name half the time, let alone about me. That was a bad joke. That was just like failure from the start. Yeah, crash and burn, Frank. Slider.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to find the damn thing.
Okay, dead air. Greg, so since our last update, anything strike you odd, or any notable anything you want to talk about?
Oh, I mean, just it's been a good race. You know, I don't think anyone's really run away with it, other than those Cadillacs. But even amongst them, it's not like there's been one team that's led every lap so far. So it's been pretty good.
Now, do you think by the end of the race, number 5 will have any competition, or you think the Taylor brother and them, they're going to pretty much? Or wait, no, is it Taylor? I'm sorry, I don't want to
No,
screw that up. It's Action
well,
Express. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, the Action Express team's going to have any competition.
Well, if everything stays the way it is, I think they've kind of settled into where they're going to be. Now, if we get a pop-up shower or something, that might shake it up. But other than that, I don't really see too much changing amongst where they are right now.
All right, got it. Good God.
Okay, go ahead, Missy.
Brian Sellers' teammates are Bryce Miller, Madison Snow, and Andrea Coldarelli.
Okay. Excuse me. Well, Sellers anchoring that team. I'm just, he's just a great. That's why he's in it right now. I mean, pretty much. I don't know. Are the drivers that are in them right now? You think they're going to take it home, or no? There's one more driver change at least left. There has to be.
I think a lot of them might be done because there's only 2.5 hours left.
About that. What do you think, Scott?
Yeah, I think a good bit of the field will probably stay with the drivers they have in right now.
Right on. Yeah, IMSA told Conway to get out of the car.
Which was interesting because he was still allowed to be in the car because as soon as he got out, they said, "Oh, my bad, you were allowed to be in there for a little longer."
Wow. That's...
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you that Philippe Albuquerque will probably want to stay in the car for the rest of the race, considering the last lap battle from last year's race.
You know what?
I'm sure.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was a great battle last year. Fortunately, probably somebody did well. Now they're 4 laps ahead. So,
Yeah.
Again, barring anything, him messing up or anything and crashing into a wall and totally damaging the car, he should be fine. The rest of this race.
Toyota LP1.
No, the Cadillac.
No, I was just referring to Toyota's blunder in Le Mans. Like, what was that, 2 years ago? Remember that?
Yeah.
They were finally about to win. Like, oh, whoops. Oh man, that was heartbreaking. Alrighty. Okay, so basically, we have a great video of Catherine Legg. She turned into a prototype, didn't know he was there, then went flying off the track, and it's almost like she aimed for him, like 3 turns down, because she just missed him. I don't know if you guys caught that. Did you catch that?
No, I missed it.
Yeah, I seen it.
I seen that one. It looked like she kept her foot in it until she went back across the track.
Oh yeah, she was like pedal down to the floor going through that grass, and it's just like, and went like she crossed over the track 3 different times, and then all of a sudden you see the prototype come into view as she crosses the last bit of track, and just crosses his nose and then comes to a complete stop. So it's almost like she was aiming for him or purposely trying to scare him. I don't know. But I have, we posted the video up on our Twitter. It's ISCP Podcast. And where can they find all of our social media at, Missy?
That would be www.theindysportscarpodcast.com.
Right on. So, I highly encourage everybody to check that out because, it was pretty interesting looking. I got to tell you, she went a long way to try to just, I don't know what she was doing. She had to have seen him. So I don't know what was going through her mind. I'm sure Shank was going, no.
Probably trying to get the car back under control after skidding over grass.
No, we watch it. She had plenty of time to get it under control before she almost T-bones a prototype in the process. Seriously, she had plenty of time. You should watch it. It was a really interesting video.
Oh, yeah, I'm watching it now. Yeah, that looked like she was just trying to...
Right? Doesn't it look like intentional almost? Like She had
Yes.
plenty of time to stop.
Yeah, she had plenty of time to get that car under control, or at least get it spun sideways to stop it before it got back to the track.
Because if you watch it after she crosses his nose, she stops on the grass, and then
Yeah, well, I mean, she even went over the little, what is it, the MotoGP horseshoe there? The little inner loop on the horseshoe?
Yeah.
Before she even started to slow down, so.
exactly, and she went through a wooden fence, well, a wooden advertisement. So she probably, I mean, she's went through enough of them. She probably knew she could just blow right through that thing. Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't put anything on the track that could harm a car like that if I mean, they make them to break all apart like that. Is my point.
Right.
It wasn't a derogatory statement against her and her talent. I think she's very talented, and I heard that from Missy over there. So
That looks like a move that I would do in Forza 7 or something.
oh, definitely Forza, not iRacing though. You don't want to do that in iRacing.
Oh, no.
Because you lose points and it's hard to get them back.
Oh, yeah.
But Forza, I mean, that's the reason I left Forza and went to iRacing.
You do that after the guy driving backwards goes by.
Yeah, well, no, the guys in the police car liveries that just sit at the start finish line to crash you out at the end. That's fun.
Oh yeah, those two.
Yeah, because when I want to race, like really race somebody, I want to dodge obstacles too, because I love RC Pro Am. That was a great game. Anyway, moving on. So, predictions for the end of the race, guys. Missy, we'll start with you. The three classes now instead of 4. 3. Just winners. What do you think?
I think it's gonna probably stay the same right now. I'd see Felipe Albuquerque. I mean, I don't see anything going there. I mean, one of the Fords is gonna take the winner in the GTLM class. And yeah, the GTD class, it looks like, like barring anything happening, I mean, I think Lamborghini's going to take it, so.
Right on, right on. How about you, Scott?
I believe probably, yeah, that should stay pretty much the same on the top 3 with all 3 classes, barring a late caution flag. Yeah,
which I'm praying for the number 4 Corvette, but they're 2 laps down now. But damn.
Right. Looking at that class, though, I mean, yeah, the caution flag would pull the number 3 right back up to the back of the Fords.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if all it takes is one caution, and this race changes complexion for the lower 2 classes, but for prototype, it should be a cakewalk unless some drastic problem happens to the number 5.
Yep, that's very true. I mean, I don't disagree with them. How about you, Greg? You disagree?
I mean, like I said, with the lack of cautions in this race, everyone's just been able to pull out their gaps and everything. The Penske's might work together and try to climb up the grid a little bit. Corvettes might try to make up some ground, but really, unless you get a couple of cautions at the end, or like I said, unless there's a pop-up rainstorm, there's really not much that's going to come into effect to change the outcome here.
Yeah, I mean, basically the only race on track that could even materialize is it looks like the number 86 Acura of Shank and that the number 11 Huracan. They're the only 2 that are really on the same lap out of the 3 categories that I would say in a few hours he can make up that 22 seconds pretty much. And they got AJ Allmendinger in there, so he can make that up, the road race ringer, right? So anyway, the only thing that I was really amazed is when IMSA told Mike Conway that he had to get out, that he was like upset about it because it's an oval and everything. I was pretty amazed at that. You'd think he'd be itching to jump out of that thing. But anyway, moving on. Can't end this without taking a dig at the Mike Conway. Hey, if AJ Foyt can do it, I can. So.
Alrighty, and I guess on that note, right?
Yes, I think so.
And on that note, you know that I know. Well, Greg and Scott, everybody knows it's almost over, you know?